Hi there, it's Kayla. This week, or today specifically, was move-in day. I was up all morning, all afternoon, just moving into my new apartment, so I'm pretty exhausted right now. And I wasn't really feeling typing out a blog post and finding images to post in. So here I am, and I'm going to be just talking about my reflection this week, my burning question, reflecting on my design thinking experience, and going into a tech tool. So first of all, summary and reflection of this week. This week we did a lot of working on final projects, which includes the design thinking experience. So I'll go through that first. My group, as I touched on in last week's blog, my group is doing a project on this app called Read by Need. Basically what it is it's an app for students, ELL levels. They can have access to higher level literature. It takes books like The Scarlet Letter, which is generally read by 10th graders. Books like 1984 and Huckleberry Finn, and stuff like that. It allows students who don't speak English as their first language and access to these tools. What our tool does is you can swipe through different levels. There's 5 different levels. Level 5 is the standard text, so the original text of The Scarlet Letter, which we plugged into readable.io, I believe is the website, and it said that The Scarlet Letter in its original form is at the 20th grade level of reading. And 20th grade is insane when you're trying to consider high school students who, like, high school goes 9 through 12, like, that's obviously not 20th grade. So it's very hard to understand this book, even for general education students, honor students even. So expecting ELL students to be able to understand that is kind of not logical. So our app takes a text like The Scarlet Letter and moves it down a grade. So you swipe over to level 4 and all of a sudden the text is at grade 15 reading level. Swipe over to level 3, all of a sudden it's at grade 10, and then it goes down. Level 1, I believe, is 3rd grade reading level, and we have decided in that reading level we're going to incorporate images to accompany the text, which is especially helpful for ELL students because images convey meaning across languages. Basically what we did this week is we just started actually making the interactive PowerPoint. We designed the interface and it's pretty cool, and next week we're going to work on actually plugging in the buttons so that when we're presenting it in our Shark Tank, we can actually click through it and be like, okay, here's the menu, and then the menu comes out, and it's pretty cool. The second thing that we did this week was the lesson plan that we have to reinterpret as a SciOp lesson plan, and we are going to be doing a lesson plan that I created this last semester. That my lesson plan basically was reading 2 texts. The first text was a young adult novel written by Khaled Hosseini, and it's called 1,000 Splendid Suns, and it's one of my favorite books that I've ever read, and it's heartbreaking and just so powerful. Just the message that the story conveys about the role of women in Iranian society. So then after reading that, I was going to have students read The Scarlet Letter, which is about isolationism and femininity and the role of women in Puritan society. So our lesson plan that we're going to be reinterpreting is one of the second days, I believe, of The Scarlet Letter. The way I decided to frame reading The Scarlet Letter was to frame it as a mystery novel where students will fill out a detective log for a character, and they will follow that one character. So say their character is Dimsdale. They have to follow Dimsdale throughout the story, track what he's doing, who he's talking to, how other characters are reacting to him. Basically a characterization chart for students. And basically it's like a who's the father type of text, and that's how we're going to frame it. We're just in the midst of reinterpreting that, creating the language objectives and the content objectives, and then adding in some stuff with ELL students in mind, because when I originally created this, I did not have ELL students in mind. And then the research paper. And I decided to do my research paper on what I kind of want to focus my thesis on, which is LPS's ELL programs and how those differ from other districts in the state, in the United States. I'll mainly just be focused on the research of like, what is LPS doing? What are other districts doing? And then that will basically be it. I thought the feedback I got back from Lucy, she did an awesome job of reviewing what I wanted to do and focusing on my essay. A burning question that I have, and I don't know if you can answer this because I feel like it's just been brought up time and time again, but it's just like, it just blows my mind that there is not enough funding for ELL programs. And I don't know if it's because of this culture of hatred in the United States towards foreign individuals and just like the heated discussion around immigration law that has just existed for forever, it feels like. I don't know if that's what affects it or if there's like, I just don't know. So my burning question is, why is there not more funding towards ELL programs? The tech tool that I've decided to bring up today, and you've probably heard of it, it's a very common tool, but I love it dearly, is called Quizlet.com, and I will link it below in this blog post. And Quizlet.com is both a website and an app, so students can access it on multiple different devices. It's basically just a virtual flashcard system, and I like the aspect that you can have a teacher create sets for students, and I've actually used Quizlet with my ELL students through Lincoln Literacy before, and they really liked it because then they could practice at home on their phones without having to like get out a piece of paper, write stuff down. Like, they can go over it, play games. I like the multiple different aspects of like learning that you can do. And then I would use it to you can print out quizzes. So say you have a vocab list and then the definitions, and Quizlet will create a quiz for you to bring, like a physical quiz that teachers can print out and bring to their class and have students take the quiz. So I did that multiple times, and I just met complete success across the board with all of the different classes that I taught this summer, and all of my students just really liked it because they felt prepared, because they could do it at their house. They could go through the flashcards, play matching games, take virtual tests and stuff like that, just whatever they needed. It's a program that's differentiated towards ELL students, and it allows you as a teacher to be able to teach students more vocab, which I think is one of the biggest problems with ELL teachers find themselves in, is that students generally, I think they can only retain 6 or 7 words in every hour period, but you know what I mean, like there's only so many words a person can learn in one day, new words a person can learn in one day and then retain those. And Quizlet kind of overcomes that a little bit and allows you to teach 25 words and have students review them throughout the week. Let me switch this on. I think teachers and students should use this tool because it's differentiated. It allows people to learn how they like to learn. You can add images to the flashcards if that's how you learn. So I was doing architecture vocab with my ELL students because they were architects back in Iran, and so I created flashcards that was like building, and it showed a building on the other side instead of a definition. So you can use images, and just there's so many things you can do with it, and it's so accessible to students, which is my favorite part. It allows you to quiz yourself, like it says, like it's Quizlet, it's quizzing you, and when you're quizzing yourself, your brain is constantly searching for the answers, and once it makes those connections, those connections tend to stick a little bit more than if you're just looking at the same thing and reading it. What would make this tool even better? I think it takes a while to make it, and I wish there was a way for it to somehow take like a worksheet you've already created and then automatically translate it over to like a quiz, or for you to somehow copy and paste that into Quizlet and have it just automatically create individual cards for each one. But no, you have to go one by one putting it over into Quizlet. So it's a little hard to use when you're setting it up. But if teachers have the time to create this and know that they're going to make a Quizlet going into a lesson rather than like last second being like, oh, I should create a Quizlet, I think that would solve that problem. And then students don't have to worry about making it if the teacher makes it for them and adds students to their virtual classroom on Quizlet. So yeah, that's my tool. I think it's so helpful. It's helped me out in the past. So that's my tech tool. That's my summary, my burning question, my reflections, and I'll see you in class on Monday. Thank you.